So we have all been looking at the budget and be analyzing it. Congratulations to Ato Forson for presenting the budget to Parliament. But a few questions I have for him. There's something really worrying me about the budget. You know, before the budget was presented, President John Dramani Mahama spoke about the Ghana's economic situation. He said that the economy led by Akuffo Addo had been criminally managed. I remember social media, people like Oliver Vomaho, Kweku Azar, and others were saying that if it has been criminally managed, then it means that there are some criminals to be arrested. And I agree with them. But this is what President Mahama said, and it threw a lot of panic into many people's hearts. Even with MPP people, they were like, oh, really? Is that how bad we did? Blah, blah, blah. Okay. So we're all waiting for government's budget to show us sort of how the economy had been criminally managed and what the NDC was going to do about it. So Ato Forson announced that he was going to give the budget to Parliament, and he announced the date. Few days before that, very few days before that, the Statistical Service of Ghana, which is neither MPP nor NDC, and which we all trust, came up with the economic data for 2024. And it showed, refreshingly for the Akuffo Addo people, that actually the economy had grown by 5.7%, remarkable growth, which the NDC first government was never able to achieve. And this has been achieved post-COVID, post-Ukraine war, whatever, post-everything, at 5.7%. Not just that. The other big story from the Statistical Service report was that Ghanaian economy is now crossing 1 trillion Ghanaian cedis. It's gone, you can change that, check that in dollars. It's gone to 1.2 trillion Ghanaians, the size of the economy. Akuffo Addo has grown the economy from what he inherited to 1.2 trillion. We had that. So that put us in pole position, and everyone was looking for comfortable seats to listen to the budget, which was presented to Parliament and was national television. Every media house had it. Now, when the budget came, there are questions that are disturbing me. This is the budget that is coming after Akuffo Addo's criminally managed economy, which grew the economy at 5.7, and then also got the economy to 1.2 trillion. Now, let's look at the allocations. And this is where the corruption happens. This is the corruption issues that we have been talking about, and which actually won the campaign because the NDC narrative was able to convince Ghanaians that MPP is corrupt. MPP were not able to sufficiently defend themselves that they are not corrupt. So the NDC won the election. But this is where the corruption is. The Akuffo Addo budget of 2024, the one that was criminally managed, the one that was not managed sensibly, the one that brought Ghana poverty, it's allocated to government's Jubilee House, the office of the president. Give me the figures. It's allocated to the office of the president. 327 million Ghana cedis in 2024 was allocated by Akuffo Addo to the office of the president. I remember Samuel Kujeto Ablakwa held the press conference about this and complained. In fact, Kujeto Ablakwa referred to it in his Asempa interview, that Ablakwa complained about 327 million being allocated to the MPP. Viewers, shift to the right-hand side of your screen. Look at what NDC is giving to the office of the president. 2.7 billion, a whooping 2.7 billion. You are inheriting economy that was criminally managed, which allocated to the office of the president in terms of salaries. The people at the office of the president, deputy chief of staff, director this, director that, this, that, everything. They said Akuffo Addo had people who were chefs. They had people who were unnecessary. All the people Akuffo Addo had in his office in Jubilee House, they were costing 3.27 million Ghana cedis to the taxpayer. Please give me the figure again. Check what is costing John Mahama. For John Mahama, the budget of Ato Forson is asking Ghanaians that we are taking 2.7 billion cedis of your money to Jubilee House. Akuffo Addo, the criminally managed economy, took 3.2 million cedis to Jubilee House. John Mahama, the saint, the election winner, is taking to Jubilee House 2.7 billion Ghana cedis. What are they going to use it for? That's the corruption right there. That's how it starts. If we don't check these things and let the finance minister come and explain to us, why are you sending 2.7 billion Ghana cedis to John Mahama's office when the criminally managed economy did 3.27 million? So whilst we don't have the opportunity yet to interview the finance minister, these are the questions that he should be answering to the general public. Honorable Ato Forson, why are you allocating more money to Jubilee House than Akuffo Addo did? Not just simple more, a whooping more. 3.327 to 2.7 billion. What are they going to do with that money in the Jubilee House? RTI must come. We have to ask them, what is the salary of all the directors in Jubilee House? What's the salary of that? Let's go to more analysis. Let's go to the GDP analysis. There's another one. Another question I have. I'm not an economic expert, but these are questions, and I believe they are relevant questions. Now, the GDP situation is as follows. You see it on the screen in a minute. The Akuffo Addo GDP was 1.2 trillion, 2024. Now, look at the left side of the screen. In 2013, President John Dramani Mahama inherited an economy from Professor Mills at 93 billion Ghana cedis. In 2016, when John Mahama was leaving after 4 years, he had grown the economy from 93 billion Ghana cedis to 167 billion Ghana cedis. Okay. Akuffo Addo inherited 167 billion in 2016. By 2024, admittedly, that's 8 years, John Mahama is 4 years. But by 2024, see the figure. Akuffo Addo had grown the economy from 16 billion to 1.2 trillion. This one is what they say the economy was criminally managed. I don't understand it. I'm just asking the finance minister questions. This is the economy that was criminally managed. Where in Africa? Have you seen an economy grow from the size of the economy grow in 8 years with COVID, with Russia-Ukraine war, with inheriting a negative growth, inheriting doomsaw, inheriting all of those things, creating one district, one factory, creating so many things, creating the students who were supposed to be NAPCO, creating NAPCO, and creating all of those things, and then he's able to grow the economy to 1.2 trillion, and we are told by the new president that Akuffo Addo's economy was criminally managed. Figures don't lie. And figures, that's what Baumia said. If you do propaganda with the economy, the figures will expose you. The propaganda is over. These are the real figures. Where is the criminally managed economy? The economy that grew from 167 billion to 1.2 trillion in 8 years has been criminally managed. Don't just say 8 years. What were in those 8 years? COVID came in. See the government expenditure and the low growth of COVID. COVID ended in 2021-22. Quickly, Akuffo Addo has recovered and is able to hand over an economy that the statistical service says, not Akuffo Addo saying, not Mohamed Amin Anta saying, not Vice President Baumia saying, but the statistical service says the month's economy grew by 1.2 trillion. Statistical services are politically inanimate. They don't do politics. They don't care. They don't have political blood running through them. They say it as it is. And they are giving us the figures. And the finance minister, I don't know how he felt walking into the budget session, because just a few days before, Statistical Service had told you that your predecessor did so well. Now, let's look at the figures still. Now, this 2024 economy, this growth rate ended up in 2024 with a 5.7. Let's look at that one, the 5.7 billion. So, President Mahama inherited a criminally managed economy. He inherited a criminally managed economy. That criminally managed economy grew the economy to 1.2 trillion. That criminally managed economy was running the economy at 5.7. The new people, the President Mahama and his group, who have not yet had the opportunity to manage a criminal economy, but who are inheriting a growth of 5.7, are telling Ghanaians that Akuffo Addo grew at 5.7. Sorry, we don't know how to grow to 5.7. We are going to experience a growth this year of 4 point, please put the figure there. We are going to experience a growth this year of 4.4%. Akuffo Addo finished at 5.7%. NDC, according to Ato Forson, is telling us that this year, President Mahama is projecting to finish at 4.4%. Ghanaians, can't we ask questions? What is the point about inheriting an economy that was 5.7 and telling us that you are taking the economy to 4.4? You are taking our economy lower. You are taking the size of our economy lower, and you announce this to Parliament, and Parliament is clapping because we are MPP or we are NDC. I think this is a scandal for any government administration to come in and say that we inherited 5.7, but as for us, we can't do 5.7. We'll do 4.4. Where is the figure coming from? You know why? Because they were unaware that the Statistical Service was going to issue these figures before the budget. They were unaware. So they had already prepared their figures, and they looked at everything they can achieve. They look at everything their power can achieve. As they say, if we're on day so on, you just deal with what your on day can do. They looked at everything that their on day can do, and it's 4.4. It's not 5.7. I mean, these are questions that the finance minister has to answer. Please, news reporters, let's put this question to the finance minister. Why is he projecting a lower growth than Akuffo Addo? When we were told that Akuffo Addo's economy was criminally managed, and you are projecting a lower growth, let's go on to the next one. What's the next one? The next one is the one district, one factory. They say they are scrapping it. This is a project that's definitely created at least 20 factories. Akuffo is one of them. One district, one factory is gone. Ghana Cares is gone. USTAT is gone. But how do you come as a developing country and cancel a program that is designed for industrialization? Which industrialization is what we've been calling for. Industrialization is what we need. Creating factories is what we have said will give us employment. Creating factories is the difference between Ghana and China. Creating factories is the difference between Ghana and Japan. Creating factories is the difference between Ghana and South Korea. Creating factories is the difference between Ghana and America. And somebody has set out a program, one district, one factory. He was not able to achieve all districts. He was able to achieve at least half of it. More than 40 factories have been created. A new government comes and says, because it's Akuffo Addo, I will not do it. And Parliament is clapping. We are happy. There are 100 million NDC members in Parliament, so they are clapping. Yeah. A finance minister comes to Parliament and says that, Mr. Speaker, I am going to cancel the one district, one factory that provided Akuffo juice. I'm going to cancel the one district, one factory that provided companies in Ashanti region, in Western region, in Northern region. I am canceling that project, and the 100 million people shout, yeah. You are canceling the factory that is employing people. You are talking about 24-hour economy, which we have not heard anything about, by the way. The budget didn't say anything. President Mahama didn't say anything. Nothing has been said about 24-hour economy because there's nothing to say about it. What do you want them to say? There's nothing to say about 24-hour economy. It is these factories that will naturally create a 24-hour economy. And they are talking about 24-hour economy, and they have closed down one district, one factory. Shut the door. Close it. We won't do it. So Akuffo should do what? If Akuffo needs more funding from government, what should they do? They should die. Other factories should just die. The factories that are employing people that will give impetus to the one district, one factory, that will occasion the platform out of which one district, one factory will spring out, and out of which 24-hour economy will spring out. You are killing that one. The one district, one factory is really the base for the 24-hour economy. That's for sure. One district, one factory is the foundation for 24-hour economy. And they are killing one district, one factory, say they are doing 24-hour economy, and why won't you project that you are going to grow lower? If you are going to be killing factories, you are going to project that you grow lower than Akuffo Addo did. And all of us, the media, we are sitting there, Ato Forson, is that well? No, yes, he may have done well, but he needs to answer these questions. Now let's go to the last one, the allocation of budgets. That's another question I have. The Minister for State for the Minister for State for Government Communications, a very young, clever man, Felix Kwache, is going to be allocated in this year's budget 78 million Ghana cedis. It's not even a ministry. It is being allocated to 3 people. Felix Kwache, Shamima Muslim, and Kwesi Pra's daughter. They are the communication people there. Government's communication is them. 78 million cedis. Akuffo Addo said he has left cars. Every minister should leave his car, so they don't have to use capex to buy car. What are they going to do with 78 million Ghana cedis? Is that not where the corruption starts? Felix Kwache and Shamima Muslim and Kwesi Pra's daughter have been allocated by Ato Forson's budget 78 million cedis. No wonder I saw Felix Kwache wearing some very beautiful shades following Ato Forson when the budget was read. Sami Jemfi was in front of him. Felix was a very beautiful video. I saw it. I really liked it. The shades is very nice, very, very expensive, but that's okay. But why are we giving taxpayers money of 78 million to 3 people? They must come and explain what the 78 million is good, because it's taxpayers' money. They cannot say, they cannot explain. At least I can say that I've been paying taxes before some of them finish school. So I'm interested. Taxpayers' money. 78 million. 78 million to Felix Kwache, Shamima Muslim and Nanama Pratt, who are the communication people. Nanama Pratt communicates for the vice president. Shamima Muslim is the deputy to Felix. Felix is the boss. Now, they are going to share 78 million cedis every year. This year, 78 million. 78 million Ghana cedis. For a ministry that is not a full ministry, for an individual who is running government communication, 78 million of taxpayers' money is being given to government. Why? What's happening? Anyway, what can we say? Let the finance minister come, and if he wants, he can answer the questions. He may decide that he won't answer the questions. He's the boss. He's finance minister. He controls everything. Yes, he does. But we'll continue to ask him these questions all the time.